Hi guys, Arthur here from Homeowner DIY. In this video, I'm going to convert a shower stall into a laundry. Now, what has already been done here has been done wrong, so I'm going to fix it so everything is to modern code and everything is going to work properly. So with that in mind, what we'll do now is we'll look at our setup and then we'll do material and tools. So this is where the old shower used to be. The plan will be to come up in the corner, put a hole in the top plate for the vent, have the laundry box here, go down into the trap, and then run back to the stack that is on the right side of the doorway downstairs. Alright, this is the materials list. So I have ABS fittings here. This is a portion of them. I have glue, strap, 1.5 pipe, 2-inch pipe, my laundry box. For screws, 3-inch screws, 1.5, and then 3/4 screws. For water pipe, 1/2-inch PEX. Flux solder, sandcloth, plywood, 2x4. My PEX tray, so rings, clips, fittings. And for the transition from copper to PEX, I've got a couple T's and then a couple sweat by PEX adapters. This is what I believe I need for material on this job. So what we'll do now is the tools list. Or this is the tools list. So I have my hand tools, so measuring tape, hammer, nail bar, etc. Hacksaw, my finishing kit, so it'll have my soldering kit. Power tools, grinder, sawzall, skill saw, drill for safety equipment. I have glasses and earplugs. I have my torch, water bottle, hole saw, 1 1/8 drill bits, and then close quarter 1/2-inch crimpers, and then regular 1/2-inch crimpers. This is what I believe I need for tools on this job, so let's get started. To start, I'm figuring out where the trusses are, so they're 2 feet on center. I don't want to put my vent right where a truss is, otherwise I'm going to have to move it. So in the very corner, there's drywall backing, so I'm going to stay about 1 inch off the wall for my vent that I'm going to drill using a hole saw. Be careful when punching through because you may hit a wire in the attic. Here I'm testing to make sure the 1.5-inch pipe has no issues going through the hole. Alright, so we have our 3-inch sewer vent here. We have a 3x1.5 cross T, so we have a vent going for the kitchen, and then this going over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, I'm going to couple this, I'm going to put a 2x1.5 T just to the right side of this truss, and then I'm going to run my vent back this way for the laundry. Alright, so I have a 2x1.5 T, so this is the 1.5 inch, 2-inch, 2-inch. So I'm going to bush in with a 2x1.5 bushing, and then I'm going to connect it to there, and I'm going to have the center of the pipe running down the edge of this, and I'm going to use this for my structural support. Okay, so this is the vent being run back to the laundry. So I strapped it there, I strapped it here, which is just about 4 feet, and then I'm going to go back there on a 45. So this isn't quite straight. I'm on the far side of the truss, and then here I'm on the close side of the truss, which means this thing here isn't quite straight, but we'll make it work. Okay, so I've glued this end onto the pipe. This end is dry fit, so what I'm going to do with the dry fit end is I'm going to put it in that hole there, and then I'll be able to turn this back and forth so I figure out where to hit my vent here. So instead of measuring this out, this will be, I guess, technically eyed out, because it'll be easier to do it this way. Alright, so this is our vent. So our sewer vent is there. We come all the way down to our 45, and then we 90 down there into the wall. So this whole vent is sloping downwards this way, so any rainwater will flow down to the low end, which is going to be the laundry. Like with everything else, vents need to be sloped, otherwise you can get pine needles, leaves, rainwater that'll puddle and eventually block your vent, and then you'll have venting problems, the same as if there was no vent run at all. Okay, so that's the vent coming down. I'm going to use the sawzall to cut a hole in the plate down here. So this is where my 2-inch T is going to be. So between here and here, I need to have a minimum of 4 inches, which that is. So with that in mind, more than likely what's going to have to happen is this is going to come up the FOP, and I'll have to offset back over to the right side of the laundry box, which we'll look at now. Okay, so this is our box. The wings just snap on in here. So you just take the wing and then push it in. If it's difficult, just use a hammer. But I'll snap those on later. Now for our valves, they have little tabs here. So all you do is put the valve in and give it a spin. And you'll hear it click. Oh, this one won't click. Okay, so with this Oatey box, you can switch these around however you need to. But what we'll do now is we'll take a look at our trap and how we're going to get our box to fit. Alright, so we're looking at our box from the edge to this here is 7.5. So if we look at it like this, 7.5, that means the FOP is going to be over here. So this is going to have to get offset over. Now with the wings, I have something to screw into here, but I have nothing to screw into on this side. So what I think I'm going to do is take a 2x4 block, put it vertically, put 2 screws into it. And then once the drywall goes on, that's going to hold the other half in place. Okay, so I've had to change what I was originally going to do. I was going to cut there, but there's no access downstairs. So I'm going to cut the plate here. I'm going to come up and then 45 offset over to here and then go up. So I need to cut a hole in the floor. So I've marked this out. I should be right on top of a joist here and here. By looking at the nails, you can roughly figure out where the joist is. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this out with the sawzall. That'll expose the copper lines. So when you're cutting out a subfloor, always try to be very careful and just cut what you need. Don't go way through it, because you can have wires, copper pipes, and other stuff that you can hit that you're going to have to go back and fix. Okay, so I've cut the box out. The couple nails here, here, and here need to get banged down. So you see how close this copper pipe is to the floor. This is why you go through very carefully. Anyways, so I've got my original drain here. So the plan will be to cut a hole here, come up, and then have a 45 low, and then come back here to be able to reconnect to my vent there. So this wasn't what I was expecting, but it actually, I guess it works out better because I can get to everything through this hole here. Alright, so I was originally going to cut these lines off here and then rerun it in PEX up into our box, but the homeowner wants me to change this. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I've cut my hole for the laundry to come up. So because I'm coming on this side of the joist, I originally thought going there. So I'm going to come off on a 45. So it's going to look something like this. So coming over here, I'll stay high. And then I'm going to try to get this on a 45, but the pipe is going to continue to the corner of the wall. So it's going to come up on a 45 like this, and then 45 up. I'll have my T here, because I still need to have 2 feet between my trap and my laundry box. That is why I'm going to do it like this. Alright, so this is our 3-inch stack. There's a 3x2 that's been pushed down. This one has been capped, which means something has changed. So this comes up into a Y, picks up the tub, and then this comes over as another trap arm, and this picked up the shower. So these are both S traps. They're done wrong, but the plan here will be to take this 3x2 Y out, come off on 2-inch 45 up, put a cross T here, come back, pick up the tub, and then go and pick up the laundry. The laundry over here will act as a wet vent for this tub here. Everything will be sized properly and we'll have a proper vent. Okay, so this is all done down here now. So we have our 2-inch branch, our trap arm that goes to pick up our tub, clean out. Laundry on this side. This will be a wet vent for our tub, so it's strapped. Alright, so I drew out what was the before, that's the top here, and the after, what I did down here. So we have the 3-inch stack that came up vertically. There was a 3x2 Y that was bushed down into 1.5 inches. So whoever did this came off on a 45, and then they picked up their tub, 1.5 inches, and then they put in a Y that came up vertically 90'd over into our shower. So the shower and the tub, these are both S traps. The reason they're S traps is because there's no vent for them. For every fixture, you need to have a vent, otherwise it's not going to drain properly, and that's what the homeowner told me, that neither the shower or the tub drain properly. So down here was my fix. So once again, we have our 3-inch stack, 3x2 Y. I came up 45 up into a cross T. The cross T came over in 2-inch for the laundry, so the box would be up here. And then I continued with 1.5 inch vent, so that's a continuous vent. This is a dry vent, and then in the attic, I went back to the 3-inch sewer vent. This is a roof line, and then I connected my continuous vent into my sewer vent. If there was no sewer vent here, then I would have had to punch a flashing somewhere here and then went up the roof over here somewhere. So looking at this, you see wet vent. So between here and here, this is a wet vent because it is a drain for the laundry here, but it's also venting this tub. So there's no vent on this side of the tub. The great thing about a wet vent is you can use one pipe for more than one thing, and at least here in Canada, there's no limitation on how far the length of this wet vent can be. So this pipe here to here provides a drain for our laundry, and it also provides air for the tub. So that is why I have a cross T here. I bushed down for the tub, and then I picked this up here. So because we have a tub and a laundry draining into this portion down here, this is now considered to be a branch. So everything here is done to modern code. I already tested the tub. It works perfectly. There is no issue with anything. But if you come across something like this, you're going to have to vent something somewhere. And ideally, you want to go into a flashing so it's hard pipe. So in a nutshell, this is what I've done, and this is why I've done it. So for this laundry box, because there is no stud on the right side, I think the easiest thing to do is to put a block, screw them into the wings for the laundry box, and when the drywall goes on, to level the box, and then use a couple drywall screws to connect the vertical piece of 2x4 here to the drywall, and that's going to help keep the laundry box straight. So for this laundry, I'm gluing the T in, and then I'm going to have the clean out above the T. The reason that I'm going to do it this way is so that the clean out won't be exposed to water whenever the laundry is used. I realized that my 45 wasn't quite level. That's what I'm checking right now with the level 4. So what you can do is you can hold the fitting in place like I'm doing now. Give it about 45 seconds or a minute, and the glue should set where the fitting will be relatively straight, and you're not going to be stressing anything too badly. So I strapped the T to the stud to help keep it straight. Now I'm gluing in the clean out. So when you glue the cleanout in, make sure that you look from above so it's coming out of the wall nice and straight. I've also bushed the top of the cleanout for the 1.5-inch continuous vent to connect into. Alright, so we have our cold, we have our hot into the plate. I had to move the box over, so I zap strapped the lines there, but the laundry box is now in. It's solid. It's not going anywhere. Alright guys, so that concludes this job. So on this job, the stack was relatively accessible. There were some things that I wasn't expecting, but everything worked out in the end. So this is now done to modern Canadian code. The tub is now vented. The laundry has been piped correctly. All allowances have been accounted for, so I don't anticipate any problems in the future with this install. The time on this job. The time was about 6 hours. So that is to run the vent in the attic, the drainage, and then cutting in the water, installing the box, and doing everything else. The cost of this job. The cost was about $200. So that's for the box, fittings, ABS pipe, glue, and everything else. This is not really an overly complicated job in my opinion, but on the other hand, I've been plumbing for so many years that for me it's relatively easy. But what you've seen here is a basic example of taking an empty space and then installing a new fixture. You need a drain, you need to vent it, and then you need water. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope something here is going to help you on your project when you need to go ahead and do that. Guys, till next time, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project.